What's up guys, it's Emma and Christian here, and here's our review for episode 5 of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier.
This is the final episode of season 3, so you may want to play the episode before watching this video, because there will be spoilers.
So here's a brief rundown of what happens in the final episode. So it starts off with a flashback to Javier and David's dad when they found out he had cancer. Then it flicks forward to Richmond, and it turns out Kate isn't dead, but Richmond is really messed up because she made this giant hole in the wall.
Yeah, the idiot.
Yeah. So then everyone finds shelter. They realise that the zombies have killed a lot of people and they have to figure out what to do. So a lot of stuff that happens in this episode we didn't really agree with. As usual, someone that you don't want to die ends up dying anyway, and in this case it was Trip, and there was nothing you could do to prevent it as far as we're aware.
Yeah, and this really sucks because Trip was pretty good. You tried to kill him, or we tried to kill him, and he was such a nice guy after that. Even prior to that, he was really nice.
Yeah, he just seems like a guy you want on your side, and then when he's taken away from you so horribly, I don't know, I felt a bit cheated.
He gets killed by some nonsense as well. It's like, oh, he's a large lad, can't go on the helicopter thing.
Yeah, it's not cool because you have that car scene right before where he brings out this zombie over his head and throws it down on the floor like it's nothing, and then
that's how he goes out.
He goes out like that. It's really sad.
It's rubbish. And that kind of follows into my biggest complaint, which is the relationship you have with David. There's a scene early on in the episode where he's standing on a ledge and he talks about how he wants to change, and Harvey says, oh, of course you can change, don't worry about it, and then he doesn't get to change at all. And I think that's really disappointing because he's set up to be a villain no matter what you do, and you can't fix him, and that's really rubbish.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem very realistic. The whole relationship between David and Harvey, I don't think it would happen like that in real life.
No, of course not, because David's main concern with Harvey is that Kate likes him more than she likes David. But if they were real brothers, they would talk about this, but instead it gets almost completely ignored, and it's no matter what, David has to fight. And it's we've been shown before in previous episodes that David is reasonable. We've spoken to him at the baseball thing, and prior to that with his dad, even the beginning scene in this where he's just joking around. You can talk to him, but they make him out to seem like he's completely irredeemable.
Yeah, and even in this episode, there's so many chances where you get to side with him and agree with him, and you'll be told oh, David likes your plan. But then ultimately the same thing happens and he still gets really angry at you, and then bad things happen. Ultimately, you have two options. You can either save Kate or save Gabe. David doesn't really even factor into that because he's already set to die. It wouldn't be a Walking Dead episode without us talking about Clementine.
Yeah, so at the end of season 3, they almost set it up so that she's alone for season 4, because she ends the episode by trying to find AJ at some ranch or something. And I'm kind of sick of this AJ saga thing.
I agree.
Yeah. She's determined to find him, but come on, he's probably dead.
Yeah, I mean, how could he not be at this point?
It's been a while. It's been a while since they shipped him off. And he's a kid who, he got better, but he's still a child.
You don't know who he's with, and I don't know, I'm just kind of bored of it, really. I'm bored of him. I don't feel connected to him, really. I don't feel that connection that Clementine has with him.
Exactly, and if she even does find him, the people that she is with, or the baby's with, they're not just going to give him to her.
No, they're responsible for him now. And even Harvey said that at the beginning, if he chose that option right at the end of this episode, it's if he's happy with these new people, you should just leave him.
Yeah, it seems really pointless, but in order to continue her separate story, they have to go down this route.
I guess you can't really rule anything out of this game because literally anything can happen.
Yeah, do you remember when Kenny was supposed to die in season 1 and then came back for season 2, and then they killed him in season 3? Who knows? Fucking Trip could be alive for all we know.
Speaking of Trip, I really liked him, and I really liked Ava, and just most of the characters really, even the rest of just the family.
Yeah, Harvey in particular was great because we haven't actually been in charge since season 1 with Lee, so it was good to have like real decisions to make. Although, I have to say, I absolutely hated the Kate-Harvey relationship, which I constantly said things that did not get like real answers to.
Yeah, it's like no matter how much you push her away, you're still forced, like she's still forced upon you.
Yeah, well, she forces herself on you no matter what, and ultimately it's for the conflict at the end with David. And I think that's so annoying.
Yeah, because you know at some point it's going to come out, and then you don't even get a chance to actually talk to him about it. It's just straight hot-headed, bad thing happens, and then it's like domino effect of just bad things happening after that, really.
And it's really stupid because at the very end they're like, oh, we should start a family. It's like, have you not been around for the last 3 years or whatever it is?
Yeah, it's like you literally just lost Gabe, and now you're like, no, we'll start again. We'll get it right with this one, maybe.
It's so stupid. It's like, oh, this place isn't even fixed up and you're even going to entertain that idea. It's just dumb.
Also, I thought it was kind of weird with the other ending where Gabe is safe and Kate goes missing, that she's assumed dead, but that's it. You don't actually find her or anything. Overall, it feels like this season has finished with a lot of loose ends that still haven't been properly tied up. It just seemed really abrupt, and I wasn't really satisfied with how it ended so quickly.
And it's also disappointing that there's no option for Harvey to leave with Clementine, especially when Gabe is still alive. There's no way Gabe wouldn't have wanted to help her find AJ. And even Harvey seems like the kind of guy that would be willing to help her too.
I think this seems like the writer's way of writing Harvey and Gabe, or Harvey and Kate, depending on which decision you made. Like writing them just completely out of the story so Clementine can go and do her own thing.
Yeah, at least this way fans will get to play as Clementine like they've been wanting to do for a while now. So.
Yeah, exactly.
I think overall this season was better than the second season, but it still hasn't reached the height of the first one.
Yeah. One thing to note is that the pacing has definitely improved since the last season, and arguably the first season too. There's very little filler other than the odd scene where you're performing tasks that just kind of waste time. I feel like season 3 was a success in the way that it took you away from just Clementine and showed you a completely different family dealing with the same problems as her.
Yeah, if they had this season play out as Clementine watching the Garcia family, that would not have worked well.
No, I think it would have been completely different, and it definitely would have fallen flat a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching our video. Please join our discussion by leaving your comments below. Tell us what you thought of the episode once you've played it. As always, please remember to like and subscribe to our channel as well. We're still growing and we're really happy that you guys are still watching our videos, so thank you very much.